Well, the Nawaz do not seem to be hungry. Well, she's going to eat a little bit. See, we have little Nawaz, big Nawaz over there. Shadow, Ethereal, Princess, Kaisera, Locket, and Ida. Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kitties with us tonight. Be nice if Moo were here. No, Moo. Oh, hydration time. Oh, hello, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. Thank you for being here this evening. I hope you had a great day. It finally stopped raining. It's been raining on and off all day. Hello, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. Thank you for being here, Debbie. It is Shadow, Bruce. Shadow is the mama. Her right there. She had 5. One of them did not make it. There's a problem with the umbilical cord tearing flesh. Y'all don't need to hear all that. And then one of them disappeared, but I don't know if she's moving them. So I don't know where they're at now. She just had them on the ground near the back door. And so I put them in a box, and then she slowly came and got them one by one. But she left that one that I made the video of. But before it started to rain, she did come back and take it. And I was really worried about it because it'd been there for a while. And I thought, well, she's just leaving this one behind for some reason. Yeah, there she is. No hissies. No hissies. Y'all be good kitties. There's Shadow. Yes. Everybody needs to be good. Yeah, it's been lots of rain. I did not think that we were going to, I was going to be able to come out here and do this tonight, but it, finally it stopped, and I don't know, there's a little bit of sun actually coming out. I see some blue sky. Moo was around earlier this afternoon. I saw Moo, but he's not coming up to eat, so he must be out gallivanting. And Big Nawaz here too. She just is not coming up here to eat. I don't know if she's not hungry. I don't know, Debbie. She came and got it out of the box, and I don't know where she took it, where any of them are. But I was just so afraid she wasn't going to come get it because it was supposed to be bad thunderstorms last night, which we had thunderstorms all night. I mean, it poured all night. I mean, it was a deluge and lots of thunder. And I'm like, well, and of course, the backyard always fills up with water. And I'm like, well, she needs to come get it. You know, I was hoping that it would go meow, meow, which usually triggers the mommy cat. And it just didn't seem to want to make any sounds. And, but she eventually came and got it, or I suppose somebody came and got it, but. Now there's Ethereal, Princess Kazera. Yeah, they were born early Sunday morning. because they were not out here Saturday night, as there's no way I could have went in the backyard and not seen kittens. So it was sometime early Sunday morning. She had one that's almost gonna look like it was almost gonna be a tortie. It was like a tabby black blend, but I saw a couple little splashes of orange tabby. Very interesting. Of course, I know their fur patterns change greatly as they grow, can really look different. But I did see some splashes of orange on it. But where they are now, I don't know. Hello, Friday. Hi, Friday. Thank you for being here. Hello, John Burgess. Over 3,000 hours and you just got approved for partnership. Congratulations, John Burgess. I know it's those watch hours are hard to come by. Congratulations. Good job. No, Friday, you cannot see my face. I'm sorry. I never ever show my face. Yes, they are funny looking honey badgers. Yes, they are. I agree. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. I truly do appreciate it. There's Shadow hydrating some more. Remember, everyone, it's important to stay properly hydrated. Here's Princess. Yeah, I guess I better, I keep feeding them on camera. So I'll always have proof that, yes, I feed them. Hey, no tuzzles. No tuzzles. Y'all be good. There's enough room for everybody. Yes, there is. Enough food for everybody. It's like, yeah, you think, I guess maybe, and I know, Debbie, since you live in a very populated place, do people stay out of your business because people are so closely packed, and then for people to get along with each other, that people just go on about their own way and don't get into your business? Or does that happen in the big city too? Because around here, I guess there's not enough to keep people occupied to keep them out of your business. I guess. I don't know if it's, because you think people have their own lives. They're busy. They're going here. They're doing that. Whatever. Where's my other phone? Ethereal is thinking about his after-dinner snuggles. Well, hello, Ethereal. Hello. Yeah, the big black cat did not come to the bowls and eat. She looked kind of interested, and she's like, no, never mind. So maybe she's eaten already. Well, I always thought, Bruce, that because there's so many people, you can't be in people's business when you're all jumbled in there together. And then around here, there's not many people, so it's easier to be nosy or up into people's business. I don't know. Hey, Kathy's. Hi, dear. Yeah, I guess I need to start keeping up with my, even my Walmart receipts to prove that, yeah, I'm buying food for my mother and I'm buying food for the cats. I guess it doesn't matter if I, buy food for myself. And then now they're all dispersing after their dinner. The cats are dispersing. We may or may not have a sunset. It's been very cloudy. Like I said, it just stopped showering. I had to put a towel in the chair. Hello, Alexia. Hi, Alexia. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you this evening. Yeah, I always thought, well, I guess I need to have proof that I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I just thought, hey, I got my own thing going on, everybody else has their own lives, and that, nobody's interested in me. And the thing I thought was, if this woman who was claiming to be concerned about me, uh, and she was just trying to be neighborly, as she said, she could have wrote a note, because she goes right by that mailbox twice a day, wrote a note, stuck a note in the mailbox saying, hey, I'm your neighbor from down the road, and I haven't seen you in a while. I'm wondering if you're okay. Call my, give me her phone number and let me call her and say, yeah, I'm okay. You don't send a cop over. You know what I mean? Hello, John. Hi, John. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. Hope you and your babies are having a wonderful evening. Yes, that is ethereal. Hello, Kitty Crew. Hi, Kitty Crew. Thank you for being here. Yes, John. Congratulations to John Burgess. It's always an accomplishment to get those watch hours in. Oh, Noah's over there drinking. Hello, Isabella Sutton. Hello, Isabella. Thank you for being here this evening. It's always nice to see you. And I hope everyone had a great holiday yesterday and a wonderful Easter. I took a couple years ago, I bought myself one of those long lounge chairs that keep your feet raised. And I'd wanted one of those for years and years and years and years. And I'd always walk by them. And I said, oh, well, one of these days I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one. I swear I am. And they went, took some off the price. They took like $10, $15 off or something like that. I said, well, I'm going to get one. And I got it. It was 2 years ago. I might have used it 6 times because I don't leave it out. So I had to get it out of the shed, unfurl it, furl it back up, put it back into the shed. And the first year I had it, I used it a few times. I think I might have took it out once last year, maybe. And I'm like, you know what? It is Easter. I'm going to use that chair. Of course, Miracle used the chair. Well, Rosemary. Hey, Rosemary. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to take out that chair and I'm going to put it between the iris bed and where the birds are eating. And I'm going to be able to look to my left and enjoy the iris and look to my right and enjoy the birds. And I brought Miracle out there and he took the chair. He didn't want to share the chair. So me and Miracle had a very quiet afternoon together. Very nice. Just me and Miracle doing nothing, just watching birds. Not, not walking, nothing. We just sat there and he slept, staring at birds. Alone. Not being bothered by anybody or anything. Well, I did have the neighbors across the road called and they bought over a couple of plates of Easter dinner for me and my mother and a plate of just like cake and cookies. A big giant plate of dessert. The cake is gone. Someone ate all the cake. May or may not have been me. Oh, John, you should make a video of your irises. Yeah, they were. It was a bunny-shaped cake where where you cut the ears one way and the bow tie, and then we cut the cake up into pieces and make it into bunny shape. And I was over there while she was making them. I was talking to them about my situation Saturday morning, and I was watching her make them, and I ended up with a nice large chunk of one of the bunny cakes and the cookies. They were oatmeal raisin, which my mother loves them, so I gave my mother the cookies, and I had the cake. Very delicious. I enjoyed every bite. Hey there, Noir. Are you going to eat anything this evening? Yeah, so I started thinking about it. I should, I'll just keep up with my receipts of all the cat food I buy. And, just take my receipts after every shopping trip and insert them into a envelope. And if anyone wants to say, well, I think you can look at the cats. They look healthy. Well, hello, Betty. Hi, Betty. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful Easter, Betty. Yeah, the neighbors bought over several slices of ham for the dinner. Of course, I'm not a ham eater. I do not do the meat thing. But my mother really loved the ham. Of course, I don't even know if she knows what she's eating anymore. The other day, she got into some kibble, and she started crunching on it. I'm like, no, 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 no! Stop, Mama! I shouldn't tell that. It's gonna look like I'm not taking care of her. I did stop her, okay? She'd already bit into it and had some in her hand, and she ate a couple more bites. I'm like, no, that's cat food. And she's like, whatever. It didn't even faze her. So I think I could really give her anything to eat. She simply doesn't seem to know or care what she's eating. She likes everything now. Like she said, it tasted fine to her. Oh, good Lord. Yes, I heard that first thing this morning, Debbie. I turn on the news. I always start my day with the news. And yeah, I mean, isn't that something how he was out there for Easter when they didn't expect him to do any of the Easter festivities that he normally does because he'd been so sick, and he actually met with that vice president of ours. Let's not go there though. And then not long after that passes away. Oh, leg of lamb. Oh, John, that's very expensive, isn't it? I think. And she did not want to come up here and eat with the other cats. Might get another bowl and put it way off to the side for her. A lot of times she won't even come up here. So she is getting brave. I used to have to feed her out there at the field. Yes, I thought about, well, if they think I'm not buying my mother food, I might need to keep up with the receipts. I mean, I don't know what people think. That's the thing. It's like, stay out of my business, y'all. Just stay out. I'm not bothering anybody. Nobody. I'm quiet. The loudest thing you're going to hear around here is when I call kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, let's see. That's her. Did y'all just see that vehicle go by? That's her. That was her. That's the nosy person who had cops at my door. That was her. That was her going by. Mm-hmm. Well, I see. I hope she saw me sitting out here so she doesn't think I'm dead. Duh. And these cats are eating. I mean, they say the cat was looking for food. Yes, Debbie. Debbie said it. I didn't. We'll let Debbie say it. And I'm like, these cats definitely do not look hungry. And, and even the cop that was here saw the empty cat food bags outside. That I had little bits left in each bag. And emptied them out the late at night. I'll feed them even again later tonight. If I go outside late at night, if I see them and they go meow, 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 and I'll feed them, if they're out there asking for it. I won't put it out there if they're not asking for it, but if I see some of them out there meowing at me, I'll put out some more food. Yeah, Debbie, I have to, I gotta be careful what I say. I don't want to get into too much trouble. So I had like a large bag like this, and then a smaller bag of it that I emptied out the last little remnants, and I just put the bags outside. It was like 3 a.m. So they were still there at the back door, and plus there was an empty chewy box. So, I mean, there was the proof that the cats were being fed, Mm. And I don't know if maybe the car being gone some last week might have sparked something, but I proved that the car was in the shop. I was here. The car was in the shop. I had my mechanic's receipt in my hand showing that, this is where I had my car repaired. I just didn't, well, Debbie, I don't want to stir up any trouble. She does know a lot of police officers, and I wouldn't have anybody to come get me out of jail. So if she could make a false accusation, because I have had someone make a false accusation against me before, and it was involved my ex-husband, who had his friend call the police, and so anybody can call the police and say anything. And the frogs are loud. Can y'all hear them? Well, John, your kitty got jealous. Maybe just do it away from the window so you can't be seen. Yes, the frogs are very enthusiastic about all the water we received last night. It literally rained all night long and then rained off and on all day today. Ethereal, are we getting up, Effie? Huh? Ethereal, are we getting up? Yeah, there's one right over here, very close to the right of me. At least 2, very close by. Getting into the bag. Would you like some more, Kitty? And I said, like I told them all, I said, I got proof that I feed these cats. I said, I can pull out my phone right now and I can show y'all. That's one of the good things I like about smartphones is the ability to get something on camera, that's something you always have with you, and all you have to do is pull out that phone and hit record, and you've got photographic proof. When I had my neighbor who harassed me for, I don't know, 8-9 years, literally it was about 8 or 9 years. If I'd had my smartphone then, this is all pre-smartphones, I could have got all kinds of evidence to prove what he was doing to me. But otherwise, it would have just been that he said, she said type of thing. He could have denied every bit of it. He could have been like, no, there's something wrong with her. She's our neighborhood crazy cat lady. And you know what she does for a living? She frames pictures. Ain't that the dumbest thing you ever heard? And she's got all those cats, and she don't like babies, and da-da-da, Oh, I'm getting a call, y'all. Y'all hear that? I'm not going to answer it. It says it's potential spam. Keep on ringing. I ain't answering it. Keep on ringing. Sorry, y'all, about that. I apologize. It'll go away in a second. It'll go away in a second. See, they stopped. Yeah, it said potential spam. But I just marvel at all the things that we do with our smartphones now that we couldn't even imagine, that not that many years ago. It's like having like a little computer right there in our hands. You can look up things and everything. And I just thought, oh my God, I could have, if I had that when I was being harassed by my neighbor where I used to live, I could have had all this proof of everything he was saying and doing. And I could have what, you don't believe me? Here you go. And when my uncle started acting really crazy, I just took out my phone and I aimed it at him. And if nobody believed me, I had the proof. I had all kinds of videos of the bizarre behavior to show the law enforcement officials. Yeah, I think these smartphones are excellent things. I mean, it's changed my life for sure in a very positive way. There's Shadow. She wants to hydrate again. Hey, it's New Niffy. Hey, New Niffy. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. I hope you had a great Easter holiday. Well, she's wading into the water. Her paw is actually in the water. I just like the convenience of having Google and the maps and, oh no, look who's back. I haven't seen him all day long. Look, it's Big Tom. Big Tom's back, y'all. I could have went the rest of the month and not seen Big Tom. Yep, Ethereal's here for Snuggies. Hey, we might have a nice glow back there this evening, everyone. That would be very nice. Yeah, New Niffy, Big Tom is not my cat. He comes over to. There's no females, and Kaizera was, but she's finished with all that. And the others have just given birth, so I don't know why he is here. Oh, New Niffy, you were not here Saturday, were you? I was in a Tia Saturday. I've been doing well, other than the fact a neighbor called the police to check see if my mother was still living. I had to take my mother to the sheriff's department to prove she was alive. Had a cop knocking on my door at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not a big fan of, law enforcement. If you need them, fine. If I need you, I'll call you. But other than that, go away, leave me alone. I was all wound up, New Niffy. Very, very wound up. But yep, I proved that she was alive, but she didn't know where she was or what she's doing. And that's okay. They saw her. And Ethereal is back here for his second after dinner snuggie. Yes. Yeah, John, my life is already a load of crap. That was the last thing I needed, John, every day is a struggle, and the last thing I needed was that. I'm not exactly a big fan of the cops. I had someone that was a high-ranking police official, not around here. This is before I moved here, who wanted to date me, even though he was friends with my husband. It wasn't necessarily date. I'm saying date to clean it up for YouTube. If you get what I mean. And he would come into my business with wine and let's drink this wine now. And I'm like, I'm driving home, and that's illegal. I can't drive home. And he would try to wait for times when my husband wasn't there. And I would always try to make sure I had a helper with me. And he would just just hang all over me. And, oh, you're looking so sexy today. And you know what? I want you in my pool. He had a big old swimming pool and says, I'm going to put a bikini out there for you and some Chardonnay. He says, I have a little outdoor bar at my pool, and I'll leave some Chardonnay out there for you. And you can put on that bikini and go swim in my pool. And I said, I don't know how to swim, and so I stay away from pools. Yeah, there are good ones and there are bad ones. I've come across both. Now, I'm not saying, that's probably true. Oh, dog time. There goes the dog. There it goes. I've met good ones and bad ones. Like the officer who came Saturday, he was very nice. He was very respectful, okay? He didn't talk down to me. He wasn't belligerent. He was very kind. He just said, I just was, told to do a welfare check. And he was very nice. And, and I told him how I gave up my business to take care of my mother. And I told him what I did, And he said, well, explain it to me like I'm dumb, because I don't know what that is. Which a lot of people don't know what custom framing is. Yeah, New Niffy, that law officer I was talking about, he was what they call a dirty cop. And he did have a son who was a dealer of the illicit drug types. And he actually ended up being investigated by the FBI. And he was convicted and lost his job. He was convicted of a malfeasance in office and was forced to do what you put on ankle bracelet when you can't leave your house. And so, I mean, and if I told you who he is, you could Google his name. It was a big scandal here about 12 years ago. Not here, not where I live now. Another place. I'm not talking about anything that happened here, but where I used to live, where I worked. And I mean, it's all over. I mean, you could Google his name and read the horrible things he'd done. I mean, the FBI does not investigate you unless you're doing something pretty bad. And he was doing things pretty bad. And I always I knew that he was not a great law officer. And I was married. So I sure didn't want to be involved with him for sure, because he was a friend of my husband. And you wouldn't be a friend of my husband's if you were a good cop. A good law officer would never want to be friends with a piece of trash like my husband. Well, yes, New Niffy, the frogs are quite loud this evening. There's at least two right next to me. Yes, at least two. They're very close. And of course we have little Ethereal here getting his Snuggie. But you can say that with about any profession. Like, there's good and bad teachers. Although most of the teachers were bad. Most of my teachers were horrific human beings. Just horrible, horrible, mean people who should have not been teaching children. Doctors. There's good doctors and bad doctors. Like the doctor that my mother had before this one. My mother loved her. And she was actually a very good customer of mine. I made a lot of money from her. But the doctor she has now, my mother does not like her. And she's has used some bad words about her. I don't like her, you know. And see, New Niffy says we've had police officers like that out here before. Confiscate the smack and then have it back on the... Yes, exactly, New Niffy. Oh, he was telling, and the cop who was trying to get me to go to his house and swim in the pool and drink wine with him, and other things, he actually told a woman, hey, if you do not come to the sheriff's department firing range and have relations with me, we're all adults here, right? You know what I mean by have relations with, you know, and this was all court record. This woman's testified in court against that. He intimidated her into having a physical relationship with him so her husband would not be arrested. He said, I will plant evidence on your husband, and if you don't, you know, do what it is I want you to do. And that's all court records. I'm not making up anything. It's all very Googleable. Well, that car just keeps going back and forth by. Anyway. I mean, he did a lot of really, really bad things. And I mean, you know, any profession, you're going to find good ones, you're going to find bad ones. But unfortunately, if someone's a law officer and they're crooked, they have a certain amount of power in their hands that they can do things that, you know. Hey, Logan. Hey, Logan. Thank you for being here. You know, you gotta tiptoe around what you say on YouTube, Logan. Thanks for being here, Logan. Well, hello, Bishka Singh. I'm sure I've said your name wrong, but hello. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I've probably said your name wrong. Where am I? I'm sitting here enjoying a sunset with a cat. So Bishka. We're enjoying cats, frogs, and sunsets. And that's how I spend my evenings, whether or not I'm live streaming. Trust me, if I wasn't live streaming, I'd still be looking at the sunset. I just thought I'd share it with some people. And the cat. Little Ethereal. Little baby Ethereal's here. He's so snuggy. Well, I'm glad I at least gave it a nice try. Close physical relations, Logan. Close physical relations. That's what I'm talking about. Close physical relations. Hey, Adam. Thank you for being here, Adam. I hope you and your wife and your cats all had a wonderful Easter. No relations, only retaliation. A twister relation. Well, thanks for stopping by, Logan. Always nice to see you. Have a great evening. Oh, you won't be actually seeing me, Bishka, sing. I never show my face because I don't want to scare off all of my viewers. That would be frightening. Love you too, Logan. And I hope you had a happy birthday too. I wasn't able to hang around much for your birthday. I had so much stuff going on. But here's the cat, and you can see my knee. So there's a knee. So there you go. You can call me Abby Shake. Okay, Abby Shake. Okay, thank you for helping with that. Abby Shake. Well, good. And now the frogs are starting up again, everyone. These tabby cats do have that sort of wild look to them. Yeah, they do. This one's very friendly. There were other cats here, Abby Shake, but they finished their food and they left. We just have this one here, and he has to have his after dinner snuggle every evening. Says I can't just eat and not get my after dinner snuggle. Well, we'll see. The sunset looks better out there in the field. Or let's go walking, and maybe we can see some. Here's another cat here. There we go. Let's take a little walk to the field. You know, Abhishek, the viewers will never see me. That's a guarantee. A guarantee. I don't want to scare them off. I'd be like, oh my God, look at her. And then they'd all stop watching my videos. And I don't want people to stop watching my videos. So let's just walk. I'm going to go see, because the sunset is moving, you know, as the time changes. So now, I want my Abhishek, my channel to be about nature, cats, and the sounds of nature. Like right now, I hear a blue jay, and And on my channel I show flowers and things like that, watching the sunset, listening to the frogs. That's right, John. Might not be any better out here either. And all my irises from all the heavy rain just got completely saturated. Oh, Abhishek, maybe 10 years ago I might would have showed my face. But I've had a rough 10 years. That's kind of pretty back there, sort of. Yeah, my first few cats were tabby cats. I'll show you what the rain did to my poor irises. I had quite a few going on. It just decimated my irises. I had one real pretty wine colored one, like Bordeaux colored. This one must have opened up some. Look, it just made them turn to mush. Just ruined them. Oh, okay, well that I can answer for you, Abhishek. I am from Louisiana, the northern part of Louisiana. Not the New Orleans part that everybody thinks about. Everybody always thinks. Yeah, I had a whole row of lighter purple kind of orchid ones open up. It's like a whole stem. Rosemary. Let me do the sky while I get over here again. And I'll show y'all some of what's going on. Here we go. Oh, they're just ruined. Look, they're just ruined. Ruined them. See that beard, that contrasting beard? Beautiful, but they're just ruined. Just decimated the whole everything that was open. But I do have more buds, so I do have that to look forward to. Let's go back to the front. I'm starting to see some color out there. There's some pretty cloud formations. It rained all night, Rosemary. Rain. It poured. Oh. Till early this morning. It was a deluge. I mean, just beat them to death. Got them totally saturated with water. It was a disaster. But, we should enjoy the rain while summertime we won't get any. So we're starting to see some color, y'all. It's nice to have my car sitting there. Even though it's old, it's a car. I feel comforted by the fact that I can get in it and go. Not that I'm going anywhere. Well, I will have to go somewhere tomorrow because I only have one Diet Coke left. And that's not good. So I will be making the trip into town to purchase the very important Diet Coke. Look, he took my chair. Ethereal, that belongs to me. Okay, let's go over here and look at the sunset. Yeah, the water hole overfloweth. You see, it was all the way out to here. I mean, it rained and rained and rained. Every time I woke up last night, I would hear the rain. Let's see. Limbs. It got a little bit breezy. I had a lot of limbs down. Oh! I haven't been through here in a couple of days. Look at this rose, y'all. If y'all like roses, Oh, here we go. Look at this, the striped rose, look. Have y'all ever seen a striped rose like that? Isn't that beautiful? I love that. That is so beautiful. I didn't know that was blooming out here. My mother bought that bush in West Monroe over 20 years ago. It doesn't bloom much. But it was like a garden center on one of the main roads in West Monroe. She was visiting me at my store. And anyway, and then later where the garden center closed down, it became they built a big tall building there. One of the few tall buildings in West Monroe. Now Monroe has taller buildings, but this is West Monroe, home of Duck Dynasty. Hey, it's me. Hello, Photos Against Anxiety. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. I hope you have a wonderful Easter holiday. Let's see. It might not look much better down here. Let's go back this way and view it from the car. Oh, honeysuckle. Look, honeysuckle vines. Yep, we have some honeysuckle going on here. I'm coming right here where you can see the cats, Jimmy. We were looking at the sunset and looking at a beautiful striped rose. Here's a cat. Here's Kaisera. Miss Puffytail. And there's the rose again. Come on, Kai. Come with me, Kai. Yeah, I gotta get up here out here and pick up sticks. And I was going to buy a lawnmower this month with the check. And well, instead, I have a water pump and a serpentine belt, which I needed the water pump more than a lawnmower. So things are going to get shaggy before the next check comes in. And look at there in my chair. Yes, the frogs are very happy about all the torrential rainpour we had last night. I mean, it started, I don't know. I dozed off and it was raining, and it thundered and rained till like maybe 7 o'clock this morning. Come on, Ethy, let me sit and then come get back in my lap, okay? Let me sit. Hey, it's Crystal! Hey, Crystal! Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. I hope you had a great Easter. I've been enjoying your photos on Instagram, Crystal. And everyone, do go check out everyone's channel. Everybody here has a great channel. If you see a channel that you are not familiar with, you're not subscribed to, go check it out. See if you want to subscribe. And there's the interloper, Big Tom. There he goes. Big Tom. Oh, he's gonna make it. He's laying down and he's making himself quite comfortable. Yeah, I know, like a lot of people, they don't like to do all the social media platforms. But, you know, I do 3, but I am way more dedicated to YouTube than the others. It just takes so much time. Well, thank you for coming back, Alexia. So nice to see you. Nice of you to come back. Oh, John, that's so nice. Crystal has been a friend of mine for, I don't know, 3, 4 years. At least 3 years, I think. I've known Crystal for a long time. It's like a symphony of frog sounds out here. They're all making their own sounds. Well, the Alexia, the sun is going down. It is getting dark. We'll just look at Big Tom there, like he's thinking, he's menacing. Yes, he is a visiting cat, Adam, and he is aggressive. He has charged me. He's actually jumped on me as far as waist high and clung to me, and I had to slap him off. He is not a nice kitty. I don't know who he belongs to, but he used to never come here when I had my Big Tom. I had my big tabby cat that I lost back last year in July, and my Big Tom kept him from coming up here. I would see him in the field and in the woods. He charged Miracle in the woods last year, and that was scary when he charged Miracle. And but he would never come up into the yard because my Big Tom was bigger than him. Yeah, Demi, he is not friendly. The other night I came outside to get real late, about 1 or 2, to get some bottled water out of the car, and I saw this light-colored poofy cat. I mean, super fluffy, giant plumey tail, and he was like white and that pale apricot orange. Had a lot of white on him, and that real soft apricot tabby. And oh yes, definitely. It's very obvious, Adam. He is very much a Tom, and most likely is the father of these cats here. There is a strong resemblance. And so he's most likely the father to most of these tabby cats that we are seeing around here. Because I did see him having the relations with the females. And so, yeah, he's a Tom. And an aggressive one, too. Yes, very aggressive. I avoid him. Yes. Yes, exactly, Adam. I try not to walk too close to him because he has jumped on me before. And so I try to avoid him personally. New tea bags. Here's Ethereal getting his snuggles. It's snuggle time. Oh, I have a question for everyone if anyone wants me to ask it. I don't know if I'll have time for an answer because the phone might die. But I do have a question if anyone wants me to ask the question. Yeah, I've been seeing him come around for a few years. But he didn't come into the yard. He just went out to the field until my big time was gone. Okay, have any of y'all ever ordered from the website for the Tractor Supply Company? I've always heard the Tractor Supply Company store. I didn't realize they had a website, but I saw an ad for it online. And they had some deals that were too good to be true, like a small cat tree for $5, a large box of Fancy Feast for $4, which normally they're $24. It's like $20 off, unless it's going to actually be a small box. And let me tell you, the deals were too good to be true, but I said I'll give it a whirl. And I did order a couple of things, some things like that box of Fancy Feast for the $4, and the that little cat. It was a cat tree. I'm sure it's going to be microscopic. There has to be something wrong with this stuff, or it's really small. Like they had a whole giant case of Friskies cat food that's normally like $29 at Walmart for like 16. There's got to be a catch. It's got to be a catch. There's got to be something. And, if you ordered over 40 or something dollars, you got the free shipping and all that. So I'm like, well, you know what? I might, it might actually be small boxes. I'll give it a whirl, and I'm going to see. Yeah, I'm worried about what it is. I got like the big bag of Friskies that is like 17 or around $17 at Walmart for like 12. I mean, this stuff, some of this stuff, but that whole box of Fancy Feast for just at $4 was ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm gonna order it and just see what it looks like. Maybe it's the actual smaller boxes, but it showed like a 30 count. There's got to be a catch. Yeah, I know they have a store in Ruston, John, and I've heard about people talking about going there, but I didn't know they had a website. So he's coming too close. So, well, you know what? It does sound like a scam, but you know what? I'll order it and just see what happens. Just see what I get, and if. But it was only a 5-day special. It was an Easter special. So it was only on for like 5 days. And today was like the last day. And I don't know if it was just something to get people's attention. But, the ad came up. And I'm like, well, yes, there he is. Kaisera is in the chair. Oh, I moved and made him run. Yeah, keep on running, Tom. Keep on running. So I might have done something dumb. I might be getting, taken advantage of. It might not be. But I mean, if something was only $3, it's not like I'm losing that much. The cat tree was not a whole tall cat tower, but, just like a little stand with a little top on it for $5. Yeah, that takes them a long time to pick out their pope. It is really, they have to really debate on it. A new Niffy, I saw Moo this afternoon when I was outside feeding the birds. And so it hasn't been that long ago I saw Moo, but he did not come and eat this evening. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to Moo. But I will keep y'all, they have to vote on it, Rosemary, and they have to send out smoke. Once they've decided, they'll send up their smoke. People talk about getting their pet food and stuff like that there. I think they sell all kinds of things. They even sell vaccinations. Um, the Pope is gone forever. New Niffy. Did you not? New Niffy hasn't seen the news yet today. The the Pope crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Unfortunately, he did his big Easter thing yesterday, so he got to go out. At least he got to have his one last Easter. Yeah, I was just watching the late night news when I couldn't sleep, watching it last night of his visit with the vice president. And, talking about how they didn't expect him to go and do all this stuff, saying he'd been so sick. It was a whole news report about that, about how they didn't expect him to go for his ride in his little Pope-mobile and do all these things. And, but they were, really surprised that he did it because he'd been so sick. Yeah, I will keep y'all updated on what I actually get from this website. They had dog stuff too, lots of stuff, but I just got enough to get the free shipping. I got a case of Fancy Feast. Oh, they also had flea drops that are $29 at Walmart for $17, the same Advantage flea drops. And I ordered some of that too, and it was Advantage, and it would tell what their normal price is. So yeah, I'm really interested to see the case of Fancy Feast that was just $4. That would be very interesting to see a case of Fancy Feast for $4, people. So anyway, I will do an unboxing. Hey, I might not get anything. They might have just took my money and ran. I may never get anything. But they do have a thing where you can go check on the shipping. And, they did confirm that they got their payment. And so I will track it and see if it's actually coming. And I will do a video unboxing of this really cheap stuff I got. And if something looks bad about it, yeah, I'm really worried about it, Adam. If it doesn't look right, I will not give it to the inside cats, my delicate little babies in the house. And if it, I'll give it to Big Tom. Or the cats of the dumpsters. I am concerned about what I'm going to get, Adam. It seems too good to be true. Well, hello, Green Wave TV. Thank you for being here. So nice to see you this evening. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I always have heard if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And that's why I bought the things I bought with great apprehension. I was really, oh, should I put in my credit card information? Should I? But I'm it really, it's a deal. Some of it was maybe $5 or $6 off. But I tell you what, that case of Fancy Feast for $4 sounded really good. But yeah, I will do a unboxing video. And here's Ethereal enjoying his snuggle. Yeah, if I think there's something that looks like it's wrong with it, I might just give it to the dumpster cats or something like that. I hate to waste it. I will give it I will look it over closely, Rosemary. I will look at, the labels, give it a smell. Uh-oh. There was my notification, y'all. I'm surprised it went this long. And here's Ethereal. Say good night to everyone, Ethereal. Yeah, I'm really gonna look at it close, John. I'm just not gonna open it up and say, "Ooh," you know. Here y'all go. I'm really gonna give it, smell it, look at it, read the labels. It could have been just some sort of promotional thing to catch people's attention, because it definitely did catch my attention. But thank you all for being here. It was so nice visiting with each and every one of you. I truly do appreciate it that you all took the time to stop by and, visit with me, so I'm not quite as lonely. We got to hear some frogs and saw a little bit of color. We saw a rose and some cats eating, and it was a nice, peaceful evening. And that one frog was really close. And if I feel like it, don't have a headache like I did yesterday, but I was just trying to, hang out with Miracle yesterday. I might do one tomorrow night too, so I can have it documented that I am feeding these cats. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great day tomorrow. Love all of you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.